Welcome back, Fellowship, to the Sword and the Ring, a place for all sorts of lore with a special focus on Middle-earth, Hogwarts, Alagasia, and a galaxy far, far away. I would love to get to know your thoughts on these universes, so let me know down in the comments what you think. Today, we continue the year with the Fellowship as we explore the fateful events of June. In 3018 of the Third Age, on June 19th, Faramir received the riddle in his sleep, as Boromir reveals at the Council of Elrond. In this evil hour I have come on an errand over many dangerous leagues to Elrond. 110 days I have journeyed all alone, but I do not seek allies in war. The might of Elrond is in wisdom, not in weapons, it is said. I come to ask for counsel in the unraveling of hard words, for on the eve of the sudden assault, a dream came to my brother in a troubled sleep, and afterwards a like dream came oft to him again, and once to me. In that dream I thought the eastern sky grew dark, and there was a growing thunder. But in the west a pale light lingered, and out of it I heard a voice, remote but clear, crying, "Seek for the sword that was broken, in Imladris it dwells. There shall be counsels taken stronger than Morgel's spells. There shall be shown a token that doom is near at hand, for Isildur's bane shall waken, and the halfling forth shall stand." Of these words we could understand little, and we spoke to our father, Denethor, Lord of Minas Tirith, wise in the lore of Gondor. This only would he say, that Imladris was of old the name among the elves of a far northern dale, where Elrond the half-elven dwelt, greatest of lore masters. Therefore my brother, seeing how desperate was our need, was eager to heed the dream and seek for Imladris. But since the way was full of doubt and danger, I took the journey upon myself. Loath was my father to give me leave, and long have I wandered by roads forgotten, seeking the house of Elrond, of which many have heard, but few knew where it lay. The next day, Sauron attacked Osgiliath, and orcs attacked Thranduil's woodland realm, which gives Gollum the chance to escape. This is the reason Legolas is in Rivendell at the time of the Council of Elrond, seeking to inform Elrond and Gandalf about the prisoner's fate. In 3019, on the first Lithe in Shire Reckoning, which is Midsummer's Eve, Arwen and her entourage entered the city of Minas Tirith to wed her betrothed. The next day, Mid-Year's Day, the wedding of King Elisar and Arwen occurred. The following year, on Mid-Year's Day, Frodo resigned the office of mayor for the Shire after leading a fairly successful rebuild after the scouring of the Shire. Alright, not a whole lot occurred this month, so I will be adding in a new segment to these shorter months called Illuvatar's Spotlight, which will consist of a short summary of a lesser-known character or event. Today's segment will be on Thrain II. After being forced from Erebor by Smaug, King Thror and his son and grandson led their people to Dunlin to settle. Unable to live with himself having lost Erebor, Thror went off with a single companion. He had left his Ring of Power, the key to Erebor, and map of the Lonely Mountain to Thror. Eventually, word returned to King Thrain that his father had been slain and mutilated by Azog, who had taken over residence of Moria. Thrain, beside himself with grief and anger, led a large army of dwarves against the orcs in the War of Dwarves and Orcs in the Third Age, 2793. The dwarves were vastly successful in the routing of orcs from the Misty Mountains, including the stronghold of Mount Gundabad. In 2799, King Thrain led his host against the orcs of Moria at the Battle of Azan-nu-Bazar, where he slew Azog, but, due to the presence of Durin's Bane, the dwarves did not reclaim Khazad-dûm at this time. After the war, Thrain led his people to settle in the Blue Mountains. However, over the next decades, he became increasingly drawn back towards the riches in Erebor, likely due to the Ring of Power. In 2841 of the Third Age, Thrain left his kin and traveled east to attempt to make it back to the Lonely Mountain. Along the way, he was captured by agents of Sauron and taken to the fortress of Dol Guldur. There, his ring of power was taken, and he was tortured until Gandalf happened upon him during a scouting of the stronghold. Despite Mithrandir not knowing it was Thrain, broken in mind and body, the king gave the wizard his key and map, and shortly after, passed away. And that's it for Illuvatar's Spotlight this month. Let me know if you have another name for the series, or who or what else you'd like to hear covered in July, another kind of short month. I'll be with you next time on The Sword and the Ring.